Ready?
Hello and welcome to another We Interview video here on gamingtrend.com. My name is Adam Marino, and today our special guest is Tetiana Gaidar to talk about her upcoming role in Call of Duty Warzone and more. Tetiana is a dance choreographer, fight choreographer, model, and actor. Welcome, Tetiana. How are you doing today?
Hi, Adam. I'm doing so good. I'm so happy for my season be
It's
out there.
it's so exciting. It's so exciting. First of all, I want to say thank you for joining us. It's always special to me specifically, but also just to our fan base to talk about people and their passions. And during preparation for a project, what are some things that you might do differently depending on if it's for dance, if it's for fight, if it's for acting? And are there any big things that like cross over between all of them? Like in preparation, you do the same thing for all your different like venues because you do literally almost everything you could want.
I try. Thank you. So nice to meet you. Thank you for having me. Um, in preparation, it if I'm getting like let's say Call of Duty, right, part or like auditioning for it, I kind of putting all my focus on really working out on my weapons manipulation, on my special skills, like all this kicking stuff that makes me different from other people. And I really focus on one thing. I think that's the key. I've been mentored by a lot of people, and I think that's the goal and the key is like if you're want to get this part or if you're like prepping for this project, you have to like focus 100% there
Mm.
and not for anything else, not to try like so many things at once. And then you're like, oh, you're all over the place. And you're like, okay,
Yeah.
now I don't feel ready. But like when I got like Bosch Legacy, I was like, studied for that character, like thinking who I want to be. Then when I got the Call of Duty auditioning, and it's been quite a long process for me, like to be honest with you, because to get a game, it's not like what people think it's easy. Like no matter
Mm.
how talented you are, there's so many talented people. There's so many talents. Yeah, there's so many like different other factors that they need every season and every game, to have a different crew and all that. And there's just a lot of talented people in LA, like let's be honest. And everybody, you have to work really hard in order to get that part and not to take
Sure.
anything for granted. By the way, come here. By the way, you guys, I'm sure lots of you seen John Wick 1, 2, 3, 4, and Keanu Reeves. And here is come here. And here is a legend,
Hi, how are
Terran
you?
Butler himself from Terran Tactical,
Very
who
nice to meet
played
you.
Keanu himself for many years.
Yeah, good to meet
So
you guys.
cool.
How are you?
So very cool. I was
Autumn
just
just got
telling
John
her,
Wick, right?
yeah, we went through all of them and we saw because I had already seen the first three, but the fourth one came out, so we just went through all of them again.
Oh,
Just
cool, cool.
so impressive, so insanely impressive.
Oh, thank you. I was very blessed to be part of it and to add what I can and what I do in my shooting career to their character and stuff. So it was really fun.
That's a real John Wick right there.
Uh,
Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
man, like when I've seen him like shoot for real, I'm like, oh man, you know what? That's a real Wick, and I want to be like that. That's so fucking
She's
awesome.
the real female Wicks.
And I was really and talking about preparation, right? I
Mhm.
was blessed to actually meet Taran, and that was a time when I was prepping for Call of Duty. It was actually the Bosch Legacy show, and like he helped me so much to get ready. I remember we were like at
Nice.
night, like nighttime at night. Him and JR was just teaching me all the like gun stuff, how to put together, how to do this and that, and it was so awesome. And I was lucky. But again, what is luck is like when hard work and you have and I had dreamed to be in Call of Duty since I was a child. So
Mm.
that dream was on my dream book, how people say like just be bold, put your dreams out loud and just like every day just keep doing it. One day it might happen. So
And it was cool. The show allowed the character to really, go next level on the weapons handling. Usually in a movie or a TV show, they just fire a gun running and
Mhm.
they reload, they cut, it's loaded or whatever. And she did all kind of wild manipulations. And also I knew going into it, the armorers on set wouldn't have the equipment or stuff to really get the stuff set up. So we taught her how to like make the gun have the sling and all the stuff on it. So when she got there was no sling on the gun, no way to do the scene. So she starts breaking out tools. They're like, "What the hell is going on around here?"
it's in Bush
And
Legacy.
the directors like they were more impressed almost with that than the actual weapon work. So it was pretty funny.
That's so
I was
cool.
I was this girl like putting on the flashlights and the QD attachments and all the slings, and so it's kind of fun. So
Like,
It's
I
all
really
comes
want,
down
like,
to that.
I know, like, I really dreaming, like, maybe for the next character in Call of Duty or something, I'll be able to, like, put the gun together, like, undo it together. You know what I'm saying? Like, in games, I haven't seen
Yeah,
that before. That would be so awesome. Like, put the gun together. I'm
yeah,
ready to go. Let's go.
yeah.
It's so cool.
that would be so cool. It's
I'll let you
it's
back
so
to the
great.
podcast. Thank you.
So great
Good
meeting
meeting you.
you.
All right.
I'm sure, like, everybody who listens to this podcast would love, like, see Taryn for a second, like, because everybody knows who Taryn is, and
Legendary.
yeah, and he's also a very good person, and him and Keanu, they're just like, man, they're just the most humble people like I have ever met, and it's just nice, to see
That's
that.
so great to hear. Especially as fans of, the franchise and stuff, hearing that everybody kind of like gets along and does all that kind of stuff. That's great.
Oh, I was honestly, like, shocked, like, when I saw Keanu coming, he was just so humble. He was like, "Hey, Tatiana, what was my splits look like? How can I do better? Like, I want to be better." And Terrence's like, "Okay, let's do this and that." And he was like like a blank sheet, like a sponge. No matter how
Yeah.
much he's like, want to learn more, and he was so open to it. And it's like, for me as an actress, it's so inspiring to meet people that caliber, that level, who are still very humble and who want to be better and who want to learn more, and they don't have any
Yeah,
of
any of
you
the
know
any of the
yeah
superstar ego that you can
yeah
sometimes get.
yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's talking about something that you were just kind of mentioning. It's like, how does it feel to be in one of the biggest games out there in Call of Duty? And like, did they happen to give you like a backstory about your character, or was that really something that you got to come up with yourself? Or like, how did that all work with the capture and the voice lines and everything like that?
So how do I feel about it? Well, I feel very grateful, very 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 blessed, and I feel like, man, I mean, you have to dream big, because it took me years and years and constantly trying to audition and putting myself out there and making content and working on my skills. It's not like that, like, it's just constant work and trying and flying and doing auditions, is like showing new stuff what are coming out. And I was very happy when I got on set, that the producers of the game, and on set, they saw my videos, with Keanu, like, shooting for him and stuff like that, and they were like very very impressed, and they're like, "Oh man, like, we are grateful to have you as a real
Wow.
pro with weapons in the game." And I was like,
Yeah.
that was my reaction, like, "Oh, well, wow, like, I feel very grateful," and, well, I was also very happy that I had my face in the game, that it wasn't changed, because
Yeah.
sometimes with games, this is how it is. It's a video game world that probably most people don't know, but when you're going into the game, they can change anything about your appearance, about your face. It's basically, they can do whatever it is to make the character very good for the game. But I was very blessed that Mila, me, stayed, me. I was
That's
like,
so cute. I
I was
love
so
that.
happy. And also, like, Mila had some significant execution moves, which is all like kicks, and like killing people was my, like, signature moves that I've been doing for years, kicking and fighting. So I
So
was like
cool.
very, very, like, happy to see that.
Yeah.
And I mean, who knows what future is gonna hold, how the character is gonna evolve. We'll see.
So you got to put a lot of yourself into the character of
Yeah.
Mila, and like you were talking about your own kind of like your signature stuff is kind of in there as that character. So
Yeah.
if you pick up the character, then you're kind of playing as you in a way.
Yeah,
So cool.
and I'm like, and I can't believe it up until right now, like, honestly, because I know a lot of my friends were in video games before, and most of the time it's changed. It's changed by
Mm.
the way they act, it's changed by the way they react to things or do, like, some kind of moves. But when I saw my Mila on YouTube, what I'm able to do, I'm like, oh man, I am rolling with the gun, like, I'm doing
Yeah.
a TPI range. I am doing my axe kick, and like killing. Well, oh, I might, like, expose some secrets right now, but guys, you have to play the game. But I'm doing some signature moves that I've been doing in my YouTube videos, and I'm like, I've been so grateful. I'm like, oh man, like, I'm so happy my character, everything that I've been putting for years into, my signature moves and how I'm moving with the weapons and everything I know about the weapons, and it's like in the game. And I hope like for the future, for my next video games, I'll be able to add more and more things for the video games that me doing in real life. That'd be so awesome.
That's phenomenal. So moving to a different part of your skill set, the wide range of skills you have, dance is such a special way of performing. Like I think it's so interesting, and I find it extremely obvious when an actor has taken dance seriously because of how fluid they move in as their characters in a way. And so like, how do you think your experience with dance has impacted your acting, and specifically with this character Mila, like being as like, you centric? Were you able to put some of your dance background into the way that they moved, as well as your fight choreo and all that kind of stuff?
Yeah, it's a really good question, and it's good that you noticed that. Chad Stahelski, director of John Wick, said himself many times that he loves to work with dancers because when he does a fight choreo and you put some kung fu in it, like with guns and all that stuff, dancers like do it in a way that other performers can do. And I see my when I watch my videos, I can kind of say I'm dancing through it with weapons. You know what I'm saying? It's like so fluid, and you add some moves. It's like a choreo. It becomes like a choreo. I think dancing is very important. Like if you want to be an actor or any kind of performer, do martial arts, kung fu in the movies and stuff like that, because it gives you that fluidity. You're very smooth, and then you're also very creative. Like on Bosch Legacy, when I came on set the first day of the rehearsal, there is a scene. I'm not going to tell if you haven't seen my show yet, but you have to watch it. There is a scene there is a scene where I'm kind of doing a 3-gun course at the range, like as my practice as an assassin. And we came there, and they're like, okay, well, this is your stage, go ahead, choreograph it. And I was like, wow, I feel so awesome. They give me freedom on the show to do whatever I want, to showcase myself the best I can. I mean, what else I can ask? Same with Call of Duty. When I came there for the audition and for the set, they were like so impressed that I actually know how to handle guns, safety and how to hold it right. Because most of the actors, they don't, if you don't train. So, but because I'm working with the guns like basically every day, and I'm playing the characters like that on the shows, and it's so funny. Like the producer of Call of Duty, he saw Bosch Legacy in my show. He's like, "Oh yeah, that's right. I recognize the character. Why don't you do here what you've done there?" I was like, "Sure." And it's great. It's like all that performer can ask is that freedom to create whatever I want. But coming back to dance, it's like when you have this opportunity where you have kind of a stage as a dancer and as a choreographer, I'm right there in the choreographer mood. So even if I have guns in my hand or I have to fight people, I see the stage, I see what the cameras is, and now I'm creating the choreography. So it's I don't know, dance like impacted my life like tremendously, and in acting too, because like talking about dance, what is dance? If you choreograph a routine on a stage, like so you think you can dance and you have to perform, you have to have a story behind your character. You have to have like beginning and the middle and the ending, and you have to have some kind of performance in your face so you can catch the audience. Because like the performance, the dancers who are like covering their face in a mask or hair, is it cool to watch? No, you can't relate them. We relate to the face, to the eyes, to the smile, to the tears. So actually being a dancer is already being an actor in a way. So it helped me a lot.
I
And I
love
suggest
that.
anybody there who you guys listening and you want to be an actor and you want to be a performer, you want to do martial arts and all this like John Wick kung fu kind of style, take some dance classes.
It was the most I went to school for theater, and one of
Oh, you
like dance was the most challenging thing to me. I did jazz classes, I did tap classes, and I did like a generic dance thing. It's the most challenging kind of class that I've ever done when it came to my like acting stuff. And so anytime I see somebody that like you can just see that the stuff had done that, it's so great. And so you being able to push this in such a cool way is such a cool thing to know. And sadly, my friend who was our big Call of Duty person wasn't able to join us today, but it was so interesting for him. He always gets so excited about that concept of just like new people coming into the world of Call of Duty, and new people coming into the kind of the space, and to have
Mhm.
somebody that is so focused in different worlds is such a cool concept. So here's another question that I just wanted to throw out to you, and it's kind of about your background and how that kind of relates to you kind of joining into Call of Duty and having it be a worldwide event at this point. So coming to the US, you had a very, hard time, finding where you had to go and what you needed to do. And could you tell us a little bit about kind of the intense changes that your life had and how it led to you joining into Call of Duty and getting into that, and kind of the start to the now, because you kind of had to go back to your family in Ukraine for a little while, correct?
Yeah. Yeah. Man, all right. All right, I'll be honest, but if I recommend to do what I have done, I don't know. I wouldn't probably recommend to people because it was very brave and a lot of things could have went wrong, but I guess I was lucky, protected. But I saw X-Files when I was a little child with my family, and I fell in love with David Duchovny, and I had a dream right away. For some reason, I just loved the idea of being FBI agent or a spy. And I, I'm in Ukraine, like, yeah, right, like telling my mom and dad, 10 years old, I really want to be a spy. I want to work for FBI. I want to be an agent like Scully and Mulder. And my mom and dad, like, yeah, like, right, it's like, stop dreaming, child. You're from Ukraine. It's never gonna happen. And but I had this dream. It was so vivid since I was a child. And then, Buffy the Vampire Slayer, Dark Angel, and for some reason, all these characters they impacted me. Like Buffy the Vampire Slayer, like inspired me to try martial arts. Then Dark Angel is like, oh man, like I want to learn how to do motorcycle. She's such a badass. Not because she all does all that, but because all of these characters they have a bigger purpose, right? That they're saving good people. They're trying to make the world a better place, and I love that idea more than just have any other job. So I want to be a spy. So but then when I was 18, my boyfriend died, and it kind of impacted my entire family really like a lot. Like my life has changed completely when I was 18, and I just entered university, and I had such a hard time in the university to have a good time as a student, to do things that students do. So I just kind of like, in my head I thought, all right, this is what I'm gonna be a spy. Like I'm just gonna be an FBI agent. I'm gonna like keep learning English from movies. I'm gonna not tell anybody my dream, because I couldn't find anybody who would relate to me, like who would have the same dream or believe it in me as much as I believed in myself.
Sure.
So I honestly, the biggest impact in my life, it was movies. I found mentors through Keanu without him knowing that. When I saw John Wick first in Ukraine, I was like, man, this is exactly maybe what I will do, because I don't know if I ever be able to join FBI. I'm not a US citizen. I mean, I am now, but before,
Sure.
I was in Ukraine. But maybe I can be an actress, like playing these characters and being
Yeah.
able to talk to the real, agents and know their stories and tell their stories in the movie. It's kind of fascinating me. So when my boyfriend died when I was 18, I took a dance class at the therapy, and oh man, it really helped me, like therapeutically, to went through this kind of brutal trauma in my life. And if you guys go through anything hard in your life, and you listen in this podcast, I would suggest you, if you don't believe in therapy or therapist, just take something physical, like take a martial arts classes, take a dance classes. It helped me so much to tell the stories through the dance without telling that to the world or anybody else, because
Yeah.
I'm kind of private. But then, okay, then I started dancing, right? And I was working with Ukrainian singer, and we had a concert in Philadelphia, and we got visa. And we were like, yes, we're going to America, because it's really, really hard to open visa to come here from in Ukraine. It was really hard. I tried 5 times. 5 times it was rejected. Yeah, but I keep going and going every opportunity. And then you know what else suck? That most of my students in my at the university, they got student visa, and I got rejected. Everybody approved, and it's like, seeing everybody getting your dream. Like all of my friends going to America now. And I was like, wow, man, why I'm so unlucky, but I've got to keep going. And I got the visa to come with Ruslana to dance in Philadelphia. It was a 5 days visa. Come, rehearse, perform, pack, and leave. Yeah. But at the border, they give us like a special permit to stay in the United States for 6 months. But I can't go back home. So here I am in America. I don't have any luggage because I only packed for 5 days. I mean, I didn't know it's going to happen. I don't have any money here. I don't have anything. But after the concert, I talked to, my friend, the singer, and she told me if I were you, young and so determined that had a big dream, I'm going to give you cash for the concert. I'm going to change your tickets from Philadelphia to Ukraine to Philadelphia to LA, and I wish you the best. So here I am, like, one-way ticket. I didn't tell my parents yet, like, that I'm not coming back. It was really hard to tell them. I'm in LA. I'm texting all my Facebook like dancer friends, like, hey, can I stay with you? Can I like couch surf? Can I like stay at your couch, please? Like, I'm here. And nobody was here. Everybody was touring, vacationing, rehearsing, whatever. And one of my dancer friend sent me to his friend who owned like a car dealership. And the guy was super nice. I told him my story. I was very honest, like very direct, like no bullshit behind. Like, this is what happened. This is where I am. I'm dreaming to be like FBI or in movies. I don't know. Like, I've seen John Wick and I'm so inspired and I want to try it. And I barely speak English. So, but I had like a big balls, I guess. Like, I just like was like, hey, like, Google Translate and trying to say a few words here and there. And he was so impressed by my honesty, and he gave me a car. He gave me like an old car. He's like, listen, I have this very old car. It's gonna get you for some time to go by. In LA, you have to have a car. Otherwise, like, you're not gonna get anywhere. So here's your car and good luck. So I stayed for some time in car, and then the rest is a long story. This kind of couch surfing, surviving, like finally meeting good people, working who knows what jobs just to get by, telling my parents I'm not coming. There was first war in Ukraine at that time, in Crimea already. So my parents kind of was okay with me being here because they didn't like what was going on already with my country. But they were very, very scared of me, like of me be here without anybody or anything. And then, it takes time to find the right people, to settle down, to learn English, to start booking jobs. And I booked and my first action film. I was sent to Terran Tactical to train. I met Terran. I was so inspired, like he was on my list to meet because, he trained Keanu, who inspired me to become an action actress. And the long story short, it's just a lot of, guys, it's a lot of like try and fail and try and fail and try and fail until something's come along and somebody gives you this opportunity, and you really have to be ready for it. You have to be ready for it. Oh, wait, I don't hear you. 1 second. You're gone.
That's my fault.
Yeah.
That was so special that you were able to do that, and thank you for sharing that. I know it'll impact a lot of our viewers on that. Now, coming full circle, let's talk about this is a question that I like to ask all of our guests, but I really want to hear something about your work with Call of Duty at this point.
Yes.
What is one happy memory that you have that will stay with you for the rest of your time when it comes to your work with Call of Duty and your work with the gaming industry?
Oh man, it's when I received the call, like unexpectedly out of blue. Like, I just received a call and like, hey, are you available to come out for a shoot? Like this Sunday, like in 2 days. I was
Wow.
like, what?
Last second, like just
Yeah, it was just that, and just pick up a call and like, oh, oh, yeah, sure, yeah. That was the like kind of the biggest. And then the second memory is obviously when the game was posted online, and the producer called me and he's like, hey, you're on the poster, season 5, congratulations, you're in the game. Because like one thing that people don't know, it's when you're getting a job like acting or anything, right? You come into the movie, you can't get super excited because unless the movie came out and you left in the movie and you're not cut out, or your character, because there's so many things that can change during making movies or
Mhm.
games, and it's not personal. It's like a lot of factors that just affects the game. So I was very happy when I received the call, and I will never forget that. But I wasn't like, putting all my excitement to it. I've
Sure.
learned with time to not be excited before, but when things come out, that's where excitement and be grateful and, humble. But yeah, I think
So
two
great.
memories. First, when I get a call, and second, when I open Instagram, I'm like, oh man, I'm in
It's
the game.
there. That's so special. Like,
And
yeah.
more to the special, it was the day because my parents. You said I went go back home, and there was Ukrainian war last year.
Mhm.
So last year was the entire year of like rescuing my family, which is another story, another podcast. But it was very special because only now, like a month ago, my mom and dad is here. So I was driving my mom and dad to show them ocean first time. They never been here. They never traveled. My family never traveled, and they never seen an ocean. And I was so happy to finally find a time to drive my mom and dad to the ocean when I got the call and I opened Instagram, like, Mom, Dad, look,
I did
that was
it.
it. Yeah.
That's
And
so
my mom and dad was
good.
like, I can't believe this is happening. It
That's so amazing.
was very special.
I you've been such a blessing to talk to. We just want to thank you for joining us on our We Interview series. It's been so special getting to hear about you and your journey and like everything. And you guys can play as Mila, and as we've learned, it's very similar to our special
Yes.
guest right here. So make sure that you are picking up season 5 of Call of Duty so that you can play as Tatiana's character. Thank you so very much for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me. You were so fun to talk to. You have such a wonderful energy and personality.
Thank you.
It's just like it makes me very open with you, I guess. And I hope you guys gonna enjoy season 5 and Mila.
Mhm.
And if you do play me as a character, I'm very, very social on Instagram. Just tag me in the comments under my post, and I'll talk to you. And I wonder what you think and if you like
Yes.
my character.
Yes. Thank you so very much.
Thank you so much, Adam. Thank you.